we're waiting for guys to join in, and I'm seeing my brother Bwana Bwana Japan is in the building. Karibu sana Evans, man. I'm gonna let you guys on the panel in a moment. I just want to put up some jam over here for like a minute as we wait for guys to join, and as I send the link to Bwana Jua, want Jua to join over here. So he says he's never been on a space before, so I need to send him this link. So meanwhile, as we are awaiting that brother, let's listen to some Savior Omar for about a minute there, as I share the link, and then I add you guys. And this guy is called Savior, man. You guys, this jam is dope. This is baby making music, maze. If you guys listen to this jam in last month, maze, Motoi wange tamba mbaya 9 months from now. So give me a moment. I add Juakali. I share the link with him, and then we start the show. About a minute. I'll have to answer kitu. Kwani iko nene. All right, I'm back, baby. I'm back like I never left. So here we are. Issue ya leo, naona wase wameanza kufurika hapa kama nzige, you guys. This is the advanced nzige team. Bashir. Are you there? Yeah. You guy, unasikiaje hiyo ngoma, you guy? Hiyo ngoma inaweza, you guy. Ha?
Unasikia sauti za kuchapa hapo kando. You really have to take a quick moment.
You guys, now I'm fully ready, you guys. You guys, now I am my body, you guys. In fact, I'm regretting already, you guys. Check mbona, why did I have to do that, man? Huh? Bado uko fiti?
Niko salama na
Ah.
Baby, naona watu wako happy in arms.
You guys, what's wameingia hapa hivi with anticipation, maze. Huh? Nilipigia. Ati what?
Kuna tricky photos wanataka kuchoma yetu.
You guys, umse maze, he's been receiving a beating, you guys, maze. Huh? He's been receiving a major beating hapo kwa mtandao, you guys, maze. Yeah? But anyway, wacha tuone vile kutaenda. I have my buddy from Voi in the building, Mr. Ken Beda.
Buda ni aje?
Uko fiti?
Uko poa bana. Lakini ile line ya kuja kama nzige tutafute nyingine bana.
Kwa nini maze? Waoni wa manzige hapa hivi zimejaa, you guys.
Umeisema sana Buda.
You guys, hii ni nzige squad. You guys,
it's good to be here bana. Naona watu wanachambua jua kali mazee for saying the truth.
You guy, man, that guy is receiving a whopping on his freaking back, you guy.
Wakenya wapendi kweli.
Unaona ilikuwa kweli?
I saw he threw out some solid points yani. Nasema watu wasiende huko prepared. Watu wafanye due diligence, waandike jokes zao more seriously. Amesema this is not our local, it's not something that we do here locally. We've learned it from other people. So when he throws out there akisema to compare huko wanafanya nini, tuangalie hapa tuko vipi, I think those are solid points.
I think majority of guys didn't read past the Uyumse seem funny, you guys.
Yeah, maze.
Unaona hiyo part ya Uyumse seem funny, I think ndio iliwasha say, you guys, maze. Yeah? You guys, most guys truly don't read through a whole post, you guys. Huh?
Not only that, here most people have no clue about the process of writing stand-up comedy or how stand-up comedy comes up. Watu wanadhani tu wewe ni mtu mfani unaenda kwa stage unachekesha watu. You know, that's actually how people think stand-up comedy is done.
Including me, you guys. You guys may used to think those guys who do stand-up are just funny guys. Check it, Uboy anaitwa Mark, as in Barney Mark. So Uboy akapewa tu mic, yeah? Alafu alikuwa tu anasema you don't understand. Unacheki? Alafu aso anaisha mbaya. Alafu sasa akadance kiasi. Akasema I'm not afraid of you motherfuckers. So unacheki? So I used to think that's the way stand-up is. Like, you just go on stage and just riff. So, I don't
I
know.
think hata hecklers inafaa unawapea tu mic, unawambia kuja stage bas, unataka kuongea. And I think that is a strategy that will work best.
Yeah, bana. You guys, it's interesting, Mazi. Oh, yeah, speaking of stand-ups, I'm seeing Mr. Stand-Up, global stand-up in the building, bana. Bwana Musoka huko hapa. This guy must be on a train in Japan, you guys. This guy can't hear Jack. Evans. Hey. You guy, bana. Evans.
Manu,
Niaje?
unanisikia?
Nakusikia lakini kuna echo in the background, you guy.
Niko kazini, nimetoroka kwa shamba, niko kwa choo huku bana.
Oh, so you'll be in the background until utoke job, ama?
How long is this going on for?
About an hour. We're just waiting for Jua Kali and then we just start chopping it up.
So let me leave and then I'll join you guys in like 20.
All right. So, no problem, man. So today's space will be quite interactive. I'm seeing Doug is in the building. Doug is my friend from back in the day, you guys. Nilikuanga fan wa Doug mbaya. Mpaka nikamtumia DM, you guys, nikamwambia venye ni mbaya. But akalenga, you guys. You guys, you guys, mono. Why did you ignore my DM telling you you're the baddest?
Unajua mimi ulisema baddest, sikuwa naelewa ulikuwa unasema goodest.
You guys, there's a major echo behind you though. When you get hata uliokotwa?
Well, I'm still trying to settle myself.
Oh, okay. I think Doug is taking his morning shit. So guys, I think we'll just start, man, because this space today is about stand-up comedy, and I feel like it was nice because guys were really buzzing around this comedy thing from yesterday, especially with the various comments that were sent out. I hope DJ Moz joins us because he was up on the ground. But generally, I thought this space would be nice just to, because we've never done this thing. We've never had a space about comedy per se and the intricacies. So that's why I invited Doug. I invited Juakali, obviously, because his back is red right now. So I thought it would be a nice addition. And I also want to hear his thoughts about what he was tweeting and stuff. But to give you guys a history, Doug is the founder of Standup Collective. Standup Collective does shows almost every weekend all over the country, man. Nairobi, Mombasa, pale Nakuru wanafanya mashow, and it's been doing well for quite a number of years. Like, it's been a long journey of shows. So that's why Doug is here. Doug also, apart from running Stand-Up Collective, he's been doing stand-up even before he started Stand-Up Collective. So I think in matters authority, especially in our scene, Doug Maze is number uno. And then we have other guys there you guys don't need to know, like Steve Chalo and Bashir. Eh? As in... You don't need to know those guys. So I think tutaanza Doug bana. Doug, hii maneno ya stand up, you guys, now that you're here as we're starting this show, maybe we can start with your journey as we go along. Did you you started doing stand up formally in when? 2000 and what? 10?
Yeah. 20? I got started in 2010.
Oh, 2010.
Nilikuwa tu. Yeah, but I think professional. I started touring in around 2012 sporadically for yeah.
Okay. So did you?
But not touring. But not touring the trigger. Njugusha amevunja ceiling bana. Watu wape heshima hiyo kitu. It's broke the ceiling man.
Yeah, for real. I think that's the first tour I'm seeing, like in regard to a performing artist, like going to.
Yeah, like self-promoted, 3 countries, an easy fit. You guys, you know, even putting on a single one in one country is not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hapo hapo yenyewe amedo job poa.
Because the guy went to the UK and then he went to. Where else has he gone? Has he gone to America?
Australia.
And you guys, do you know how far that place is, you guys?
And then Kenya and Amina.
I think he started here with that mega show,
so
and then he went down to the UK, and then went up to. What am I saying, you guys? Australia is down. I'm just using those words to sound fancy.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
but you're right. Putting up a show even in Nakuru mazeni ni shida. Sembuse.
Ni shida bana. Yeah, sembuze kufanya peke yake yani, and then was quite a fit man. Unajua mi naonanga most wasanii wakiendanga out of Kenya, you're going to shows zenye unaitiwa or unaenda you get put on. And the dude put himself on. That's not joke. Man.
Oh, you mean you've been called by? You've been.
Yeah, you're doing something. There was a gathering, and then we need also a stand-up, or they even invited you, but somebody else is working on it mostly. But this is a guy, he toured with his own special man. His own show, one-man show, which I think was it's quite remarkable. Hatujaifika hapo in Kenya yenyewe. Sijui msanii yeyote mwenye waifanya hivi.
Like the musical acts, are they invited? Ama they also jipanga Sauti Sol, like I think Sauti Sol are invited. Yeah.
I think they're usually invited, but I guess also I guess it's a bit different also comparing Sauticians with stand-up kidogo, but or comedy in general. But for me, I think kuchapa hiyo kitu at that level in those kivyake, like guys just came specifically for that. Hata hiyo nini wanakujua tu, wamekuja for you, not even your jokes, because they don't know the jokes yet. You know, unajua with Sauti Sol mtu hata anajua lyrics zote anakuja kuziimba. But also that's I guess that's another level. But me, I'm just looking at stand-up and I'm saying hiyo haijafanywa.
I'm seeing Juakali is in the building.
It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, you're right.
Jua is in the building. Yeah.
Juakali yako ndani ya nyumba mazee. Juakali uko fiti?
Yo, niko fiti. Mnanisikia?
Tunakusikia poa sana. Mgongo iko poa?
Yo, mgongo iko sawa. Mara ya kwanza nilikuwa nafikiria hii Twitter Spaces ni kama Zoom, ni ya video. Kumbe ni audio.
Hii ni audio, hata unaweza ifanya kwa bed.
Ifanya kwa bed kan me stretch.
Mazee.
Ndio maana nili accept.
Yeah, kabisa.
Jua.
Ni aje?
Ndio maana nili accept kwa sababu nilijua hawataniona. Hawataona hii kipara yangu.
Iko sawa, kipara ngoto.
Oye, karibu sana Juakali bana. Maybe we can just start from the beginning. Juakali, ulichemsha maneno hapo kwa mtandao mazejo.
Unajua ni nani yangu inaitwaje? mimi ni mtu nimependa stand up comedy for the longest time. Unaona, the first stand up nilionaga ilikuwa za nani, Eddie Murphy, hizo Delirious. Unaona, hiyo ndio ilikuwa the first stand up niliona, just before sana nikakuja nikarealize kulikuwa na jamaa mwingine mdeadly alikuwa anaitwa Richard Pryor. So ndio pia ndio nikarudi back pia nikaanza coach ma clips zake. Hizo siku zilikuwa siku za videotapes. Unaona, sasa hivyo ndio vile kitambo nilifall in love na hiyo art form hiyo ya stand up. So ni kitu nimekuwa nifuatilia, nikakuja nikarealize it's almost the same tu na music, kwa sababu unajua sisi tukianza we always the first places si perform ni kwa ma clubs, na hapo pia ndo nikakuja nikarealize pia stand up ukitaka kusharpen skills zako mtu endaga kwa clubs. Yani hiyo ndo place huko US, hizo ndo zilikuwa ma spaces wasa walikuwa na get kwa ma clubs, ndio ilikuwa the best space unaweza enda entertain wase. So hapo ndo place wengi walianza wasa wana sharpen skills. So hizi ni vitu nilikuwa tu nasoma naona pia. So unaona, this is the same, almost the same journey kama ya musicians tu, unaona. So ndio ikafika I think time ya nani, unajua hip hop ilianza ku blow up the time walianza kuuse. Kwanza ilikuwa wase wa West Coast kina NWA, wase vile walianza kutumia ma profanity. Hiyo kitu kwanza ilikuwa imeshangaza. Yani jo kulikuwa na marappers wengi walikuwa clean manze, kwanza especially hawa marappers wa New York. Wasa walikuwa hapo kana passwords. So walikuja wakashtuka si wengine jo wanaanza kutumia jo ma profanity jo kwa song zao. So mara kwanza walikuwa wanaogopa manze, not knowing hii profanity ita propel hip hop to the next level. Unaona, ita propel hip hop to the next level. So ndio so ndio wife alikuwa anashindwa vipi. So wase wa nani, so hivyo ndio vile hip hop ikaanza ku blow up. Now coming to stand up comedy, wase hii inaitwa the Def Jam comedy. Hawa sendo walianza kutumia ma passwords, ma profanity vile ilianza. So unapata wase kama kina Bill Cosby walikuwa wanatoa noma, why you guys using these passwords nini. Sisi huku jo tumelike hizo ma comedy mzee, kwa sababu hizo vitu yani zilikuwa funny to death. Hivyo pia ndo vile comedy ilianza sasa ku blow up, stand up comedy ilianza ku blow up. So hiyo ni kitu nimekuwa nafuatilia for a very long time. Mko area
Mazi tuko area, tunasikiza hii story yetu yote. So correlating your journey na journey yetu hapa, especially us guys with kina Doug, because even us tumeform your system ya club. So
yes.
At the back of your mind, is that what you're thinking a stand-up should do? Should you go through the club scene kabla anze kuchapa hizo show? Ama what's your mind around that?
Yes, very very important kupitia club, very very important. The same way tu vile sisi tu ma musicians, yani tuna sharpen, kwa sababu hatuwezi perform kwa big arenas every time. especially for wale wasanii wanaanza. You can't perform in
Yeah.
big arenas every time. So the best place inaweza kuwa sustainable, unaweza ifanya almost every week, ni places kama clubs. Kwa club si place kubwa, yani ile hata uko na wasee 50 ama wasee, so kama ni Monday ile time wasee waendagi ma clubs, hiyo ndio time wasee una get hiyo space, ndio una sharpen skill. So stand-ups wengi it's only the best kupitia clubs, kwa sababu unajua sasa the Kenyan scene wase wengi wameruka hiyo step, especially sa vile TV vile stand up ili move to straight to TV. Ma stand up comedians wengi hawakupitia hiyo step, so wengi wanaenda kusharpen skill zao pale kwa TV, unaona, which is not the best place, kwa sababu TV unapewa maybe 5 minutes 10 minutes, unaona, na pale kwa club hauna any limit, unaweza piga vile unataka. Unaona, pale kwa club uko free kuongea vile unataka, unaona. Hizi za TV ziko more corporate, so lazima yani words zako unachuzia words vizuri, so kuna jokes zingine hawezi sema, ni kama uko limited, unaona, kama creative.
Doug, the reason you're here is Doug Umenda. I want to bring in Doug Kidogo. Doug, how important is those? Okay, I know the answer, but I'm just asking. Like, how important is because we don't have that in Kenya. Like, we don't have a big thriving open mic scene. Like in Kenya, we have maybe 3 open mics a week. So, how important is it to go through the open mics before? You know what I'm asking you guys. What am I even asking you guys?
Yeah.
Like, can I just
Joy
appear?
is right on the money about that.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, just go ahead.
Your story, club, it's important. And the way I normally explain to stand-ups is, club is not theater unaenda kulearn ama nini. Exactly how he says, it's to sharpen your skills. And specifically, when it comes to jokes or you're doing, what the club does is the equivalent of what marketers or people in business call focus grouping, whereby you craft a bit, unachora mstari, and then unaichukua kwa in front of the audience, and then you bring it back mpaka inakuwa lean and right on the money. So basically your joke una to get loading point yake, the most optimum loading point ni wapi. You get rid of words, you add words, you change your timing. Like sometimes the only difference between your joke making people laugh and not making people laugh is just the timing, the pause, and you have to experiment with that. So you find ukona joke poa enyewe, it sounded good to you, but when you take it in front of an audience, it's not working. Why? And at the end of the day, it's just the loading point. Umeichapa tu vibaya, yani umeirush sana, ama umeslow down, ama hujapause at the right place. Hiyo tension yako hujaijenga vizuri, hujaibreak vizuri. So yeah, I 100% agree kwamba club is very important. And yes, here what we've had is, and that's why we cut guys some slack a bit, is our dominant the dominant perception of what stand-up is in Kenya has always been, which TV does not care about the craft. It does not care about the skill. You know, there is a lot of people who are talented, but then, like, there's a difference between that thing. Like, you have to build your skill, your ability to know how to play with a crowd. Like, kuna msee saizi, I don't expect Kisiangani, if you go on stage with your 7 years of experience, I don't expect you to forget lines, because you don't forget lines. Like, you know, you know how to roll with that thing of you forgot your lines. Like I do know that, like when I was starting out, there's that thing where I go on stage with a set list so I don't forget what I'm gonna be saying. Now I'm getting on stage with a set list so I don't go off topic because I'll go. You know what I mean? So that thing of going is so important because you start learning those. You time yourself, and of course, hizo matime limit hizo vitu zote we do that. Hakuna limit, like hakuna go like we had a comedian, a Canadian comedian doing comedy in all the right places. Brian Aluwad, he was here a few months ago. I remember Kisangani, you came to his show. Very funny guy, selling out shows in across the world right now. Villana touring every year in Canada, and he was telling me how he's gone to so many countries whereby performing at the club feels like performing for TV. It's too much censorship. So expecting growth from comedians whose nini is, it's so difficult for them to actually grow or grow yani vile wanafaa kugrow because hiyo ni umefungwa mkono alafu unaambiwa fly. It does, and that's what a lot of hiyo ndio ilikuza stand up yetu ya Kenya ni TV sana. Msee ulikuwa unaenda mistari kabla iive vizuri utaenda on the biggest platform you could ever imagine. So it's a flop or a hit, but you as a practitioner you don't get to grow your craft per se that well. You become a talented, you just remain a talented guy. You don't grow as you don't become seasoned. So unapata comedian mwenye amechapa hii kitu 5 years akona likely the same chance of success, well, with a slight adjustment with someone mwenye amechapa 3 months amejaribu because that person didn't get to discover what makes their material work and what makes it not work. So yes, it's very important club. Nimeongea mingi sana already, but your club, I think it's one of those steps we missed. Ni katan tu ulichukua tu, kuna katan tu tuliteka hapo and we never kind of, it's hard to come back, we diverge sana. Sawa, nimesikia.
Hiyo ni simu ya nani Mazejo? Huh?
So Doug maze, first of all ni aje bana sikumob.
Sikumob beda, hey bro.
Yeah, so what nikiona hii conversation hii ya Njugush na hii conversation Jua Kali ameanza, mimi naona tofauti kubwa cause watu wakiuliza sasa Kenya kuna stand up comedian gani, none of these new stand-ups from Stand Up Collective, from Punchline was even mentioned, and ningetaka kusikia maoni yako kuhusu why that is.
Yeah, so the main reason is also the majority of Kenyans have not understood stand-up really. Like majority, like you still find people who are like, oh, kumbe you guys exist. But the conversation that Joa alianzisha, and your conversation alianzisha Joa is very important. I think it's extremely important. It was just weird that it had to be on the back of somebody a person who was at that show having a bad review. Actually, a lot of credible reviews are saying that show is not bad at all. Just people are expecting something a bit. They were expecting, I think, raw, close to the chest stand-up from Jugush or something. That guy specifically, but everyone else, I think, understood that they came to see that and they experienced it. So, but the conversation is just important to be started. So me, I kept saying, hey, at some point, unajua nilikuwa naona watu tulimensioniwa a few times Ken, hata saa hizi go viral bro, mpaka nini yangu Twitter yangu imeenda from 1500 to 1520, unaona, so nimego viral. So nimego viral. So kuna wase wali mention, which I think there was enough, but there are guys who were just actively bashing. They have never been to a show. Me, I know Joa amekuja show yetu, nini sana, big up enough times. So kidogo mi naona hapo kuna ka credibility, but a lot of Kenyans, mi nilikuwa nasema on Twitter, manze sikusikii kama hujaingia show kama hujaenda comedy show yenye haikuwa inatepiwa for TV, enda tu show raw ya hapa ya up and comings, for lack of a better term. I've been up and coming for 10 years plus, not bragging, but I'm telling guys, watu waende tu show wa experience before waanze kuonga hizo za kusema this guy doesn't know anything nini, stand up hawajui nini. It's true. So it was just unfortunate, and also Kenyans love violence. Manze wa Kenya pia sijui ni nini, wanapenda violence sana, kwanza on Twitter, because
Yes.
No, but Joa is here. Joa, your
it
mindset
didn't
yako
have to
ilikuwa
take away.
mindset yako ilikuwa nini ukitweet your tweet?
Yeah.
As in nini ilikutrigger?
Yani I think ojo nilibonga na team, nilibonga na jamaa wa Njugush, especially nani, unajua Abel ni mse nimejuana naye for quite some time, unaona. So nilimcall jana usiku, nikamwambia yani I think the trigger, because that time when I mentioned trigger, unaona, I think the trigger was mimi at that particular moment, waje mimi nilikuwa najua Njugush kama msee wa maskits, unaona. So mimi at that particular moment nilikuwa na feel ni kama hii stand up yani it's still huge, ni platform kubwa sana, cause ni kitu lazima, ni skill lazima we sharpen kabisa, unaona. So for me nilibonga nao, nikamwambia I'll own it, yani I wish ningeandika hiyo kitu in a different way, ile kusema jamaa ameingia kwa stand up, yani mimi take yangu ni hii, yani basically maybe aongeze team ya writers, wase pia waanze tena kusharpen skills zao maybe kwa clubs nini, vitu kama hizo. I think yani ili come out hash, which I owned it, but all in all ili spark, hata tukiongea nilisema yani imespark conversation moja, wase sahii story ya stand up, wase wanaongelelea stand up sahii, unaona. But as for violence, yani buda, unajua yani hii inanikumbusha story ya nani, I think ile story ya Rihanna na Chris Brown. Unaweza pata Rihanna aliforgive Chris Brown, lakini wase wengine wamekataa. Tuko nashindwa sasa jamaa, kwa sababu unajua sasa mimi nishaongea, nishabonga na team ya Njugush, hata Njugush mwenyewe I think uko njiani anarudi, unaona. Njugush pia ni mse najuana na yeye, ni mse nimekuwa na encourage story, mimi hata ndio nimencourage sana vile anaanza kuget chapa, nikamwambia wewe buda, ukiget jo ganji anza kujenga, unaona. Kina Butita ni wase niliwa push, nikamwambia jamaa anzeni tu kufanya ma special, hizi stories za 10 minutes haiwezi, unaona. So nimekuwa kwa hizo circle za stand up because ni kitu napenda. So I think the trigger ilikuwa ni hiyo, nilikuwa na feel hii stand up yani ina need yani bado research bado bigi sana, which to me I think the best thing ingefanya ingekuwa ni ku encourage, kusema buda, umeamua ku go this route, ni fiti sana. So kuna vitu 2-3 inaweza changia, which inaweza saidia brand yako. But now jamaa wa violence ndio au jamaa hata yani unaweza kuja na peace, lakini hao mpaka unashinda jamaa, kwani hii ilikuwa ni clickbait ni jamaa? Kwa
Maze
mmejipangia
tulikuwa
nini?
tunapata ile inaitwa blood flowers. Bana.
Jua kali mgongo.
Why does it have to take
Mgongo
push down?
mgongo ya
ndio
jua kali na
tusifiwe,
kaka ile ya Yesu.
Manze.
Wait, but there's something you've said, Doug, which I think I'll reshare here. Yeah? So the process of the current process we are using for stand up is based on, I think, the Churchill Show model. Okay, so Churchill Show tulikuwa tunaingia
Yeah, on
pale.
the mainstream guys basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we used to go for auditions on Tuesdays, okay? So meaning these are fresh jokes umeandika over the weekend, umekuja on Tuesday, and then you do the show in front of some two guys. Tulikuwa tunaita hiyo kitu meza. So the meza are the guys who listen to your jokes. So if the meza guys approve your jokes, they'll tell you to come again the next day. And then they'll tell you to, if you go through the next day, maybe they'll tell you kuja uchape show on Thursday. Show ilikuanga on Thursdays on that during those days. So unapitia kwa meza, unaenda kwa show on Thursday, show inaweza, and then now the next week on Tuesday you come with fresh jokes. Unaona? So unaona hiyo turnover ya joke. Like ukiona hiyo joke, how long has this joke been cooked? It's been cooked for only like 2 days, a day before it's in front of a national audience. So that's why you find, I hope my sound is good. Can Beda say niko na echo? So,
Uko sawa.
okay. So, in 2 days, you're doing a joke in front of the crowd in Carnival and in front of the country. Because now that joke would be taken to TV, and then TV you'd have like 5 minutes to, they'd air your joke for like your bit for like 5 minutes, your set rather. So that's why if you observe, many guys used to complain about guys not doing a story, they do 2 jokes. So unachapa joke, unajua tao, unajua haya, unajua mtaani. So ni story haifuatani. And that's because the turnover of a joke was too short. All right, like wiki, and then what would happen was some guys would come really fresh and really good. They start killing it week 1, week 2 killing it again, week 3 unasikia bana huyu jamaa siku hizi ameisha. So si ati ameisha, the turnover was too the lead time to produce a set which can kill as the first set is too short. So you'd find someone who would come and he kills it for 3 months. He's trending all over the country. And then after that, you say, hey, uja malisha. So I feel like what Juakali was saying and what Doug is saying is going forward. And that's why we are holding this space just to keep the conversation going. Like guys would, if we could understand both as comics and as the audience, that a set is built over time. Unaona? That's okay in open mic, they keep trying the same joke different ways. So you build the set over, you say this year, Mina Jenga, my 1 hour show, I'm building it over a year. And that's what they do in the States. So you come on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Friday at the open mic, unasema haya, wacha nijaribu hii joke hivi, wacha nijaribu hivi. So after 1 year of doing the same thing and building those jokes, now when you go in front of an audience at, say, KNT or at KICC, you've sold out a whole tent. Like aukuji kubatisha, the jokes are zimeiva over a long period of time. And it's actually really, really hard to, to convert a joke and make it palatable to an audience. Ile yenye isho imeiva. So I feel like Juakali was saying that, without saying that, because now at least he's given us context. But Doug, I'm sure you appreciate your process is like to become a professional comedian globally. Maze, you have to go through that thing, Maze. I want to bring in Evans. Ushamaliza na job? Hold on, Doug.
Bado niko kwa choo lakini tuendete.
Benedict, shout out to Evans. Juakali Evans ni boy wetu anafanyanga stand up Japan. Sijui kama ushai meet.
Japan.
He's a Kenyan stand up comedian.
Juakali usianze bana.
Ching chong ching.
You need China, you guy.
We, jua kali stand up ya Japan it's bigger than their football. So usiniolunge hapa sawa.
So Evans,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think of the conversation that's been going on, stand-up comedy in Kenya? You know, because you've been doing this thing for a while on that level.
Yeah, man. I've been following the conversation closely, and I'm like, this is the conversation that the country needed. It's a needed conversation because it brings out the loopholes that the Kenyan stand-up industry has, if for for the lack of a better word. Because I agree with Doug with just to echo what Doug said, and also Juakali said, like before you come up with even 20 minutes that are solid, you need to practice it a million times, different audiences, different nights, different venues, and that is the importance of a club is where you go and where you're allowed to make mistakes, where you're allowed to change your material, you change your setup, to change your punchline and all these other things that your joke structure basically. And so I think it's very important for any scene to have a club, and I've been doing it for now almost 11, 12 years. And I've been coming to Kenya kila time nikiwa na break. I still come back home, but sijawahi perform until like 2 years ago when Doug, Manu, you guys with stand up collective, you sort of created this environment that is, it makes me feel like, okay, now here I can fully express myself. I don't care about cursing, I don't care about any topic that I'm talking about. Is just an environment that allows me to be creative and funny at the same time. And I get why Juakali feels like people are not ready and they're getting these big stages because, um, honestly speaking, hata ukiangalia, let's take an example of Will Smith. Will Smith alijaribu stand up. Unajua? He tried stand up but kuna venye ilikuwa mbadala kiasi, unajua? He's known in the acting world na hiyo story, but stand up is a different animal that it's a special muscle that you have to exercise. Even Will Smith, the few minutes he did, aliandikiwa, he had a writer and everything around him. They try to make him look good, but if you are a stand up connoisseur, you can tell that umse hata hapo anahema, yani, with all the things, the lighting, the room setup, the joke writing, and he was fed everything. But ukiangalia hiyo clip poa, it's like yeah, hisi yake, unajua. So I don't say sisemi ati stand up iko na wenyewe. I'm just saying that it is a muscle that needs to be exercised and developed over a long period of time. And the only way to do this is having different rooms to make errors, having different rooms to be free. For example, Tokyo is not a big scene, but Sai, today is a Wednesday. From today until Sunday evening, I have 7 shows already, and it's a Wednesday. Unajua, so there are like we have a one-time, full-time comedy, but it's called Tokyo Comedy Bar. Your place, it has an open mic every night of the week, Sunday to Monday, every night, like 7 days a week, 9 p.m. Kuna open mic. So if someone, let's say, starts in this environment where they have the privilege of going on stage 7 times a week, and then kuna msee Kenya amekuwa akido for some time, but they go on stage twice a week. The person in Tokyo might not be funny, but he will develop that muscle quicker than someone who goes only on stage mara mbili kwa wiki, unajua. So I think it's a matter of doing it more and making those mistakes, and then you know how to maneuver. Hata ukibom, unajua, you know how to engage the crowd, you know how to, you have different arsenals in your armory to try and win over the crowd. And yeah, I just think it's a matter of practice and a matter of doing it over and over and over again.
Why don't
Speaking of doing it,
Mbona Evans? Mbona
yes,
wase wetu, especially the big artists, they don't like coming for the open mics, you guys, to be honest. Like, I have many buddies in the scene over the years. So you find a guy, he's just, he just wakes up and decides anaenda Dubai. Unaona? So as you're saying, he hasn't worked out. You see, like in Eliud Kipchoge.
Yeah.
And I don't know why guys find it different for stand up. So Eliud, every morning, 5 a.m., he's on the road running. Then now he's when he goes globally to do the thing. Huh? But now with
Yes.
some of my stand up friends, someone just chills and then all of a sudden unasikia, hey, bana, me next week naenda Dubai kufanya 1 hour special.
1 month.
So you're like, how, where? It actually amazes me, like how brave you are to leave hapa, unapanda ndege unaenda kufanya 1 hour. Nah,
But
you
people
haven't worked
come.
it out.
You 1 hour. People have come to see the personality, not stand up. Watu wamekuja kuona ukozi we ni Manu. Just the fact that you are up there na we ni Manu, people will buy tickets. Najua stand up were deadly sana wenye they can't even sell out a 20 seater. Unajua? So
Yeah.
people come to see the personality and not like stand up. You know what I mean? So your guts, I think, if you don't practice, it's just like any other profession. Kama we ni bodybuilder and now you don't go to the gym, or you have cheat meals every day. Square, there's a day it will, there's a day you'll be exposed to whether you like it or not. Like this one thing I love about art. There is no shortcut. Like you can okay, let's say kuna shortcut ufike hapo, but how long will you stay up there? How long will you be consistent over the years? And I think that has been seen even in the Kenyan stand-up industry. Vile mmesema tu, like people come on TV and they are hot for 3 months, 6 months, even 1 year, and then they just disappear. Unashangaa umse aliendaga wapi? It's because aliandika joke Tuesday akaenda akafurahisha Victor Bear, on Sunday ako TV, is already a celebrity. But hiyo sio kitu yenye ame work on and developed, and you really own it. You have to own it, and you have to have your own voice in yani before you go to these stages, unajua. But again, kuna watu sahi, I'm telling you, hata sahi hata huyo Will Smith akikuja aseme anakuja kufanya stand up Kenya, si tickets mtapigania huko mbaya sana. But
Bwana
a guy
Evans.
like Iris Pierce is a legend. He's a funny guy. But Ari akisema anakuja Kenya, how many people will come watch him? So it's
Bwana
a matter
Evans,
of
niko na swali.
mm,
Umesema you've been to Kenya, you've only performed at the Stand Up Collective shows.
yes.
I wanted to know, have you performed at the Churchill shows? If not, why? If so, how was the experience?
Good question. Actually, mainly understand of Churchill. I started doing my shows at Churchill. Not shows, but auditions. Nimeenda audition kama so. I never got picked, to be honest. So I was like, maybe I'm not good enough, but for this stage, because I believed in myself. And Dag hawezi kumbuka, but huko ndo nilikutana na Dag aki-practice chini ya mti kama preacher huko manze. Nilikuwa ndani anaomba.
Mimi
Yeah, huwezi
mimi
kumbuka. Dag alikuwa amejikaza hapo
ulianza lini?
around 2012.
I was never around in 2012, but
Where
I
were
came
you?
in 2013.
Exactly, around that time. You want me to tell
Oh
you the date and the time?
yes. Unajua ni kama hii ni Banta Kisiangana anasema alinitumia message on Twitter akisema mimi ni fan wako mbaya na siku reply. Huyu jamaa 20, yes, I remember in 2013 I actually came to do nilikuja kujaribu mistari hapo Churchill.
And you are with Kibet. Remember the guy called Kibet?
Yes, I remember that
exactly.
guy. Yeah,
So I know you don't remember me because I was bombing more than you, but yeah, that's where I met you, I think.
Yeah.
So what's the difference in experiences between that stage and here Stand Up Collective?
That stage, I think it's more commercial, to be honest. It's more catered to popular opinion and not really stand up how I know it. The way I know stand up, or the way I understand stand up, is a little different from what they were doing, or I don't know if they are still doing it. So Stand Up Collective, now like I came, all the shows zimekuwa nikichapa huko. I've been cursing, I've been just expressing myself, talking about different topics that ukienda hiyo other side you are told, buda, hii huwezi ongelea hapa, unajua huwezi sema hizo hapa, unajua. So lack of, not censorship, but just more freedom to express what you want to express. I think Stand Up Collective has done that well, and that's why, like, since I started coming back home, only the last 2 years nimepanda panda hizo ma stage nika perform, but before that it was like, hey, I'm just going home, I'm gonna chill and then come back to where but like, yeah, come back to Japan or go to another country to perform, because to be honest, Rwanda were kind of ahead when it comes to stand up, because nime performed Rwanda way before even like Stand Up Collective. I performed in Rwanda in 2016 if I'm not wrong. So I just think Stand Up Collective ime create your environment that is giving people freedom to express themselves more. And my hope or dream, ama nikiwa na do, ni kuomba tu, yani kuwe na full time comedy club in Nairobi. We don't have that. We just do it in bars or restaurants and all that. So if we can have a home whereby people come and make mistakes every single day of the week, like Manu was saying about these big names wanakuja, they just come for the main shows, but they don't come for the open mics. I think that is something that it doesn't help them, and it doesn't help the industry at all, because big name akiflop is like, those Kenyan stand-ups are like that, unajua. So people like Dave Chappelle, they still walk into the belly room at 2 a.m. to do an open mic. Up to now, hata sahi Kevin Hart sahi, he has a new hour out, but before that the rooms he did, unajua. Hawa say wanazungukanga hizi maclub. I have a friend who's based in New York. Is like, you can just be seated in a bar, open mic, 25 people in the audience, and you'll see Bill Burr coming in and just playing around with the audience, trying to throw material out there, see which one sticks. So I think clubs are very having a club is a very integral part of any scene. I think it's a place that it's a sanctuary that comedians need, not just for open mics, but also to form a community and like hone the craft, unajua.
Wait, Jua Kali, unaona ka, and thanks for that, Evans. Unaona ka Wakenya wanaweza accept your raw, because najua hata you're a pioneer in just doing raw music, because you guys will just come out and rap about whatever you feel like. Like even when it comes to stand up, like the general Wakenya wenye kuchapa viboko kwa mgongo. Unaona ka wanaweza accept hii raw stand up yenye una describe.
Unajua human being ni mtu wa kuzoeshwa kitu. Unaona, so the moment unaona cause wase wengi wanajua stand up from TV. Hiyo ndo stand up comedy watu wanajua. Hiyo ndo kitu watu walikuja kuzoea. So now ni kama now tunarudisha watu to the basics. Unaona, ni kama saa tunarudi reverse, tunarudi nyuma ndio watu wasonge mbele. So na hiyo itatake a lot of convincing, unajua, kwa sababu unajua pia kuna ile the commercial aspect of it. Unaona, kwa wase wengi wana wakiona TV, wakiwatch any stand up comedian kwa TV, wanaikuetu mse yuko successful. Hii ni kitu successful. Wanaona wase wengi wako hapo wanacheka, hii ni kitu successful. So wanaiconnect na success na the commercial success. But now kurudisha wase kwa club, kuna mtu anaanza kufeel ni kama hawa wase wanaanza kurudi nyuma, not knowing wase wanarudi back to the basics, ndio wase waanze kusonga mbele, kwa sababu it's supposed to be the clubs first before anyone becomes a commercial success. The same way tu na na mziki zetu. Lazima tu uanze na the club scene before you hit sasa ukuje kuperform kwa the big arenas and everything. And still bado hata tukiperform kwa hizi big arenas, almost a huge chunk ile ndio si umake bado tu kwa ma clubs, bado si perform bado kwa ma clubs mpaka wa leo. So ni kuanza tu kuanza kuchange mindset ya wasee, kuambia jamaa we are going back to the basic, this is the way. Yani ni kama kuna steps tuliruka mpaka tukajikuta kwa TV. Kuna steps stand up iliruka, now guys are going back. Ndio sasa tuanze sasa kusonga from the clubs now. Ndio sasa ni bidii yako for wewe now kuhit the big stage, itakuwa sasa ni bidii yako, but now utakuwa umeget chance kama stand up comedian kusharpen your skills. So we have to go back to the basics. Stand up ya Kenya has to go back to the basics. Yani lazima tu zile steps tuliruka, yani nature hauwezi chenga nature itakurudisha tu pale. We have to follow tu vile nature inasema. We have to go back to the basics, then we move forward.
Mr. Douglas, niko na swali bana.
Yes.
So unajua Mr. Emmanuel ameongea hapa kuhusu hiyo joke turnover. Ningependa tupe insights into what are the different joke writing strategies between the legacy stand-up scene in Kenya, hiyo ya kina Churchill, na this what you guys started.
The biggest difference for a fact is Churchill. Churchill shows most of the comedians they based it the quickest trick that you use to trigger your laughs ilikuanga recognition. That's why ulikuwa unapata most of the stand up ilikuwa msee anafanya impression ya Muluya, alafu Muluya kila mtu anajua Muluya, and that is the only trigger. So guys are just, and then what was even tougher is guys were locked in those characters, which I guess at some point it stops becoming really stand up. Now it's more like sketch on stage by an actor. It's not really a lot of guys were characters. They were never unapatana huyu msee una expect kuongelesha vile anaongeanga TV yako, niko poa mimi jina langu ni hivi, and then it's very rare you find somebody who was like vile on stage as a person, because they just took character. So it was like more like acting and sketch on stage. So what we do on this side is you can still do ethnic jokes, but you just have to do it a bit better again. And then the other challenge also was guys had the thing that the first punchline that came to them is the one that they went and they add with it. So that means the difference between you and somebody who is not a professional on stand-up, who is not professional, quote unquote, is that there is no difference, because the first joke they thought about is the one that they went with. But you as a stand-up, you have to dig deeper, because chances are the first punchline you thought of has already been said and used. So you have to dig deeper and personalize. So that means you have to do unaanza kutumia multiple just laugh triggers to connect with your audience. Kuna relatability, kuna surprise, kuna hizo incongruity, recognition pia bado iko. You can still do those impressions mpaka wasona, yani people laugh for different reasons. Kuna ile watu wana laugh because it's true, yes I recognize that, or they laugh because element of surprise, they didn't expect that, and that's why some of those concepts are elements of surprise jokes that are harder to perform over and over. But jokes based on recognition and or even recognition and peer relatability can be performed a lot more frequently. Even the same audience can hear the joke over and over again. Guys request for those same jokes. So I think we've been able to employ multiple techniques and allow people to just go in their different directions. If come kuna msee ako weird, that is their energy, they try it out, and if it works out, they find a way to incorporate everyone in it. But kule wase, there was very formulaic. Unakuja kabla uchape joke unaambiwa wewe ni nini? Sema mimi ni mwalimu. Wapi kalamu, wapi hivi. And I think that also pigeonholed was saying to one thing. Sijui kama nime answer hiyo question.
Yeah, I can.
Another difference, mi wajua sijaingia hiyo Churchill scene, but
Yeah.
nime perform na nyinyi stand up collective kidogo, punchline comedy. One thing nime notice na nyinyi, kuna hiyo, there's a camaraderie I've never even witnessed in any other field, in any other industry. Ni hiyo the workshops, the comedy workshops. Can you touch on why you decided to start that, and what effects have you seen that have on the local comedy scene?
Yeah. The thing that's important with the workshops is also it's important for the camaraderie, because here's another fact. Wasengi, to the untrained eye, you might think it's better for the show if you're the only one who killed, so that you shine on the spotlight. But for our guys, they are very acutely aware that if someone starts bombing on the show, they start doing badly, that affects the audience. It takes the audience down, and then you have to dig them out of that hole. So there's collective success if everyone is doing well. So that workshop was important also for guys to just be able to call each other out, because unaweza pata msee amekuja na joke alafu anachapa joke, unasikia hiyo joke it's too, you didn't try, you have to dig deeper. People are told, bana, hiyo joke inaweza fanywa na anybody on the streets, dig deeper, don't be hacky. You see, that's what half the time guys do, on each other on those workshops. And also the idea is ndio msee usiende to the wrong direction, yani off the rails, and you have to be, it's also kind of guided growth, whereby okay, you are free to experiment, but you don't also go too left field where it's like, okay, that's not reality, watu umeenda sana. And there's no way to know unless you're with other peers, peer to peer. Mse mwenye anaweza kakuambia roho safi, because pia kuna ile njaro, me I find, if the only place you get your feedback is in the biggest possible platform you've ever been on, chances of being crushing a good talent are higher. But if it's a fellow peer nakwambia kisiangane na yeye, kwani ama Ken Beda, hey, that joke bana, kwani what are you doing hapo, umehata kidogo, ama ongeza hii, build this, touch this, direction this, and it also pushes you. Now you are going back and you're thinking, hey, now I have to get a joke that is just as good as this one or not. So the general camaraderie is for the sake of every other cooperative setup that people have. It's very straightforward and strategic at the same time, whereby the more you're working on the same thing together, the faster you're gonna get to your goal, if that makes sense.
Wait, yeah, that's dope, man. I'm loving this. Wait, Joakali, you've said guys should go back to the basics, which is going back to the clubs. Lakini,
Yes.
unajua kuna you're doing the basics, lakini bado uko poa kwa hiyo club, unaua, una mada show, lakini kuna kitu ina miss yenye sasa the masses hata hawajui una exist. So how do you bridge the gap without cloud chasing, kutoka hapo kwa hiyo club scene sasa kuenda kwa hiyo mainstream? Sijui kana make sense.
Now, yes, una make sense kabisa.
Na hili kwa swali ya halaiki. Go ahead.
Unaona kuna avenues mingi ya kumekwa sewa kuone, kwa sababu wanaweza shoot hata na maphones zao, mnaweza shoot hizo nani, wanaweza shoot kwa stage hata wakitumia masimu, si lazima hata the big cameras and everything. Alafu kuna YouTube, wanaweza post kwa YouTube, promote waone. Unaona, yani kuna njia mingi hiyo content yako inaweza fikia wasee. Unaona, so yani ni just wasee pia wakue wajanja. The first thing ni kuanza tu kushoot. The moment mna shoot with whatever device you have, hiyo hata wasee 10 wakiona sawa, wasee 20 wakiona ni sawa, but at least watu wameanza kuona, because you have to start from somewhere. Kwa sababu hata speaking of nani, vile kumaliza kuongea nikakumbuka kitu moja. Hao comedians wote ilikuwa inafika mahali inakuwa huyu jamaa ana pesa. Kwa sababu vile tu nimesema tena, the public wakikuona kwa TV wanaona uko na do, wewe ni ya commercial success already, not knowing pale maybe unapigwa 15k ya kuapia hizo 2 seconds, but kwa sababu uko tu kwa TV, so the moment umefanya maybe umetokea mara kaa 2-3, alafu wasona kona tao unatembea na slippers, watu wanasema hey, ujamaa ana do, not knowing we still ni mtu umeanza, wewe ni a comedian umeanza. The difference tu ni vile umeonekana kwa TV, but your journey imeanza. You are not a commercial success, so hiyo ndio shida. But now getting your content out there online, wase lazima take advantage na story ya online. Wase wengi, the public, wase wako online sana sahi, yani kuna spaces mob sana, wase wanaweza rusha content zao na wase waone. The easiest ni YouTube. YouTube ndo place unaweza weka hiyo content na uanze kuambia wase, jamaa watch, mnaambia tu sasa, mna take advantage na social media, watch, mnakimbia kwa TikTok place mavijana ni wengi, wase waneka hizo ma snippets za hizo set, watch, ingia YouTube, watch. So hivyo polepole wase will get to the program, wase wataanza kuona na everything else itaanza sasa fall into place. But now hiyo journey ni journey long, but lazima tu ifanyike for us artists tuanza wale ukuwa uget mahits, kwa sababu pia mziki kona luck yake. Kuna artist wata take time before they blow up, na kuna artist wanaweza blow up from the get go. But now hii ku blow up from the get go, auja build a foundation, chances yako ya wewe kuanguka ni very high. Hii ndio reason unaona kuna ma one hit wonders hawana foundation yoyote. But ule msanii amekuwa na build pole ana build craft yake, anajua nikifanya hivi na work, nikiimba hivi na work, una build foundation. So over time ukikuja ku blow up ni hard sana uanguke, kwa sababu unajua you know the way to maneuver ku make hits. So ni the same thing na stand up comedians, lazima ubuild a foundation. New foundation ni kurudi back to the basics, ndio hata anything ikihappen unajua vile kumanuva. Vile pia tu mmesema tu wa comedians kogani kama a community, so hata pale yani before uanguke kuna wase watakushikilia, cause au move solo. Yes, unapiga set solo, but uko na watu, uko na comedians wengine karibu na wewe.
But isn't it too much to ask? Because I feel like saa zingine too pressure wasanii wetu like is it too much to ask for a unapata sketch comic expecting
Yes.
that sketch comic to perform at an Olympic level as a stand-up comics? Hizo ni two different crafts.
Yes, hizo ni two different crafts, kwa sababu niko sure ukiambia Mr. Bean asimame kwa stage achekeshe wasee, itakuwa kitu ngumu. Ule mse aliweza kuna nizo vitu mbili which lazima tumpatie credit sana, ilikuwa ni Dave Chappelle ndio, yani ni kwa maskits ni deadly, na kwa stand up bado ni deadly. Huyo ndio mtu mimi nimeona ameweza kufanya hizo vitu mbili, unaona. But most of the time wase wengi utapata mseni mdeadly kwa stand up, but kwa skits si mdeadly. Unapata kuna mseni mdeadly kwa skits, na the same way tu na music. Utapata kuna marappers wanaweza imba, ni marappers yes, and they can sing still, watu kama kina Drake na wako wengi, unaona. Yaani utapata kuna tu singer he can't rap, na kuna rapper who can't sing, but kuna wale they can do both na wanazifanya vizuri. So I think pia stand up pia tu ni the same thing tu, skits na hii stana, hizo ni vitu mbili tofauti.
Emmanuel,
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
what do you have to say to people ambao wanasema tungeigiza Njugush kwa hii live leo?
Yeah.
That is a fair fight.
Okay, first of all, it's not a fight, but I know what you're saying.
Yes, hatujabash anyway.
Bana. So I don't know, man. I hata sijui yako wapi, you guy. To be honest, Jua Kali is I've accessed him. It's easy for me to access him. So I would have loved to have Njugush here, to be honest. Maybe going forward.
I
Lakini si
think
Jua Kali umesema na travel. He's on his way back, huh?
I think niliambiwa jana alikuwa kwa flight. But ingekuwa poa kuwa hapo kwa sababu unajua hii conversation ni conversation ya stand up as an art form. Stand up comedy as an art form, which unaona, which kuna wasee wengi wanapenda stand up but wanafeel ni kama imekufa. Unaona, kuna wasee kama kina Eric Omondi, kuna tema alikuwa anapiga ma special zake, but unaona pia alikuja ka slow down. Yani hii stand up yani tunaongea stand up as an art form, yani isi war, isi vita kabisa ya kuput anyone down. Vile tu mimi nilisema tu Njugush yani namuish success, especially vile saa ameingia hii line ya stand up. Unaona, because the same way kuna wale wase naturally wako blessed kufanya kitu na kuna wale wase wanakwaya skills as they move on. So utapata Njugush ni mse as we speak ana acquire maybe your skill as we move on. So si vita kabisa. I think the guy is traveling, but ingekopia tu fiti tukuja hapa tuchangie tu historia stand up. Hii si vita tu, ni historia stand up tu as an art form.
Yeah, I think Kenyans wako aggravated sana, kila kitu kwao ni vita bana, ama vipi Manu?
That's true.
You guy ask Jua Kali's back.
Mini Jesus wenu.
Jua Kali's back is red
Jesus.
right now.
Mimi
Manu.
Jesus wenu.
Sema.
Bye.
Speaking of Jua Kali's back, my special is out this Saturday, the Black Sushi.
In fact, that's what I wanted to ask you, Evans. How come we don't have enough specials coming out in Kenya, you guy? Unajua wase wanasemanga, in fact kulikuwa na hii debate Jua Kali akireceive beatings, kulikuwa na hii debate ya Mkenya mgani anaweza chapa 1 hour. So why don't we have a lot of that?
I think it's again we go back to the roots, to the joke writing, you know. Before upate material ya 1 hour that can withstand time, it takes a lot of work. Lazima you have to work your ass off. Lakini as Doug said, if you see like even the joke writing of most Kenyan comedians, people were writing for the next Sunday on TV, you know, and then after that the joke has expired. And then Manu said something very important. There's no storytelling per se. It's like beat. Niliendanga tao makanga katalia change yangu nikamwambia wenda kupiga, imeisha, next one, you know. So it's not like telling a story, and that's one thing even me as a comedian I'm trying to learn, and that's why I challenge myself. I've been doing comedy now almost 10 years, but my special is not even 1 hour. It's like almost, you know what I mean? Because you realize that when it comes to taping your special, it's like, hey, it's a lot of work. You have to try and put in your best, and it has to be cut. Unajua, like even people like the Kevin Harts, these guys, I was saying they tape this the specials for like 2 hours and then inakuwa cut down. So to have enough material for that and for it to flow, it's not an easy job. And also just the cost of putting a good special together is just too high. Alafu pia people think that if you want to have a special you must fill up an arena, and you know, it most like our understanding of a special like Kenyan comedians mostly it's been like, hey, lazima ikae ya Netflix I have to take a theater, fill out 500 people, lightings and all mbwembwes, But nowadays, I say anachukua to club, 100-seater, 200, and then they just shoot nicely. But again, before you do that, it's about the material. Do you have 1 hour? So that's the importance of the club. Unaanza na 5 minutes, and then ukiona hiyo 5 minutes ni strong, start building on that. Una build on that until you get 1 hour. So if I think it takes roughly our comedians, I've been listening to someone like Bill Burr, it's like 2 years per hour. So, and that is someone who's doing stand up full time. That is someone who's in clubs always with a huge
2
team
years
of
per
writers.
hour.
And that's one of the things. That's one of the things I agree with Juakali. Like, if you are on that level, you need also to have writers, more writers, a team that will help shape your material and all that. And yeah, it takes a lot of time. Kevin Hart has a team called the Plastic Cup Boys or whatever. Almost 8 comedians. All of them are 8 different comedians, but they focus on him and they write for him and they help him in the delivery and they push him. So it's like coming up with a special that can make waves. It's not easy. So you guys on Saturday watch special yangu and then munitukane ndio nijulikane. Sawa jua kali.
Black sushi.
Black sushi out on Saturday.
Hiyo ni jina
guy.
kali. Hiyo ni jina kali.
Yeah.
Well, I want to
Hata
invite.
kuadd on to that, Kisiangani,
Yeah.
you remember I did a special in 2019 and I had to bury it because haikuwa imeiva. Like and the whole cost of putting it together, getting everyone recording, and then by then we had just started doing this stand-up collective. It was a year. It was already 2 years, right? We had already been doing it maybe 2 years or a year and a half, at least. And hizo mistari hazikuwa zimeiva, bro. We were performing maybe once or twice a month. Like, and of course zinashika at every show, but hazijapitia oven vizuri. So we recorded this thing. Some of the material, to be honest, was from my previous touring time, before my sabbatical. But Evans is right. Like, unachora mistari, we recorded you guy, and then afterwards you watching and you're like, I want to throw up. Haiko imefika, haiko imetosha bei hata
Jamali
kidogo.
attract heckler mmoja kutoka UN.
Then there was that one.
Hey, you guys have come with laugh tracks. What the heck is this, you guys? Where? Skia, there's a comedian here from a Kenyan comedian anakuanga Australia. Nimekutumia mic, Paul, huh? Just accept the mic, alafu we start wrapping up this thing. Cheki, I want to invite a couple of guys from the audience, also Waviboko, just to hear what guys have to say. GR, I'd like to hear what you have to say. But if I give you the mic, keep it respectful, mazi. Easy vita, my bro. So there's some guys who requested the mic. I request mic for 3 hours. So I'm gonna give you a moment, say what you have to say, and then goodbye. But Paul, where are you, man? Evans, unajua Paul the Black.
Which Paul? Ni akona dread?
Not dread, you guys.
Paul Gavimbo.
Huyo simjui. Haja make it bad.
You guys not made it, you guys. So okay, I'm saying Maina Munene hapa. So ask your question, 10 seconds if you have a question for Juakali or the panel, and then we start wrapping this thing up. Maina Munene nimekupea mic. You can now speak, brother. Sijui kama kuna network pale nini Mokoro. We Bwana Maina, watu wanakungoja.
Emmanuel, wacha nikuulize swali tukingoja Maina bana.
Yes.
So one thing nimeona hiyo swali umetoka kuuliza Wakenya wakisema which stand-up comedian in Kenya can even do a 1 hour special. I'd like to hear your opinion of that. Which ones do you think are almost there?
I think Aman Deep has I think 2 hours that he can do. I was with him in Mombasa, alifanya 1 hour. and that's right at the back of being in the same Mombasa na akafanya another 1 hour. So Amandeep can definitely do a 1 hour of very good jokes. Half of them are mine, but ni sawa tu. Doug is also, I think he has an hour. Unajua Doug, shida ya Doug ni is also an organizer. So if you're an organizer and then you're still, performing stand up, and I feel like hiyo ni place ingine tunafaa kwenda jua kali
Yeah.
most of us tuna organize our own shows, so unaona kitu moja ina
Yes.
suffer kwa sasa wende you're worried about selling tickets.
Yeah.
Alafu
Yeah.
you're also worried about your performance, so hatuna mapromoter full time wenye wana promote tu show za stand up. So ukiamua kufanya promotion unasafa kwa stage, ama ukiamua kufanya stage promoter anakudish hii side ingine.
Yes. Kweli.
In the music industry the promoters
niaje
wamegea
wadau?
line.
Oh.
Just hold on my
Yeah, Buddha.
nakusikia.
Unajua sisi when we were starting off ndo kulikuwa na hizi issue, unaona, kwa sababu mimi naweza sema basically, yani music industry yetu, this urban sound iko maybe almost maybe 25 years old, unaona, ukihesabu from kina Masimaira, ukirudi way back. So yani iko wacha niseme 30 years old. So when we first started off, kwa sababu wase ufikiriaga tu pesa, so inakuwa hard sasa zile unaanza, inakuwa ngumu sana because you are building something. So unapata hata wase wa corporate hawako na trust the music industry. Ma promoters wako na trust, wale walianza kuingia walikuwa pia ni ma conmen nini, yani tumepitia hata flash mob sana, even before tuanze kushutuma videos. Unajua wase walikuwa natusikia tu kwa radio, but they didn't place a face, hawako wanajua Jua Kali anakaaje nini. So hizo siku ulikuwa unapata wase walikuwa wanapanga mashows huko places ka Busia, jamaa neka tu poster Jua Kali anakuja perform, wase hawajui vile Jua Kali anakaa. Msee tu anatokea tu pale amevaa kofia anarap kama mimi. So yani tumepitia hizi vitu tumepitia yani vitu mob sana before sasa eventually, because na ulikuwa sasa lazima tu tungekuwa consistent regardless tuko na do hatuna do, tumeingia kwa industry, lazima tu kuwe consistent na kutoa ngoma. But now the good thing, hizo siku bado tulikuwa home, so expenses sijui za rent, studio ilikuwa kwa keja, atulipi rent ya studio, atubai food kwa keja, so bado si ni mavijana, so focus yetu yote ilikuwa on the music, unaona. So kuna vitu mingi maparo walikuwa wametucushion before now, vitu zikaanza kufunguka, tukatoka nao kwa hao, tukaenda tukaset up studio kando, tukaanza saa kulipa rent, yani sasa tukaanza kuwa wase wazima. But now at that time vitu zilikuwa set, yani tulikuwa a commercial success, yani vitu zilikuwa set, ma corporates walikuwa shaingia line, but ni kitu ina take time. Mimi nikiulizwa before tuanze kuona do ya ukweli, I think sisi na maloya ni almost the same, ina take almost 7 years before uanze kuona do. So I think for stand up now, with Storia Online and everything, wacha nisishtue ma stand up comedians upcoming hapa, wacha niweke basi 6 years. You need like 6 years before uanze kuona do ya stand up.
Shit.
Yes. Habari ndio hiyo.
Hey, she guys 6 years. Maina, swali yako ilikuwa gani?
Niaje wadau, first of all, asante sana for having the space, manzi. This is really insightful conversation. So niko na swali. Okay, si swali, I have like a comment on the issue. First of all, I think Njugush ana deserve respect yake tuanzie hapo in terms of like being able to play the game at that level. So that's number one. Number two ni na feel like my understanding of comedy ni iko na tiers. Like kuna club comedian, kuna theater comedian na kuna arena comedian. Na get. So I feel like Njugush ame skip hizo processes zote akaenda like direct kwa arena, na kama unachezea that high of a level like rate ya failure itakuwa obviously juu than mse anapiga kwa club, hizo club gigs and all that. So I feel like stand up has no shortcut. And again, and also ku have show moja every year, I think hiyo nayo like it's not like a really good show. So that's my opinion on the matter. Hiyo ingine ni na feel ni kama even the Kenyan audience needs to give us grace kidogo. Even in the case of someone like Jua has started a really important conversation, and I hope we have like part 2, 3, 4 of the same conversation. But sasa Jua may start conversation, lakini zile clips ana post za what is stand-up comedy, ana post Bunny Mark anasema, you know, this is stand-up comedy. And yet pia huku kuna wase kama even Doug has a clip online which is like really funny na may post. I think this week we have like people like Aman. I hope this conversation could be steered more like in the Kenyan market, because I feel like ni unfair kwa wase kutu compare na Dave Chappelle mtu amekuwa akipiga stand up since akiwa 14 years na the scene in Nairobi is like 6 years, like seems like scene yote una get na feel kuna mtu anaweza ongelelea hiyo element ya grace.
Wacha nigusie kitu. Mnanisikia?
Tunakusikia.
Hello? Buda.
Nakusikia Jua. Go on.
Sasa ni hivi. Unajua sisi tukianza music. Yani nakwambia the honest truth. Yani mimi na Clemo kuna time tulika kama 6 months, kwa sababu unajua hizo siku hakukuwa na internet. Definitely the only way tuliweza kulearn about music, about the music industry ilikuwa ni kusoma magazines alafu na kusikiza. Sisi tulilearn by listening. Unaona, hivyo ndo vile tulilearn about music, the same way tuna vile Yego alilearn kurusha ile kitu kuwatch YouTube bila kukuwa na coach. Sisi tulilearn hivyo music. Clemo alikuwa anakaa down anasikiza tu hizi production, anajaribu ku understand nini endelea, anasikia baseline inachezaga hivi nini, kuna time baseline izatoka irudi, na mimi at the same time nasikiza lyrics za wase na understand naona au artist wote they are themselves wanafanya nini. So tulilearn from how wase, cause how wase wamekam hii industry ya music ya US ni wamekam before us. So hao ndo wase tulilearn. So through kulearn through hao tukai localize hii content. Sasa tukakam up na genge, ndo nasikia genge na sound Kikenya, but tumepick elements. The moment mimi naanza kurap, hiyo ni element ya hip hop nimepick, but now the moment na rap na Kiswahili nimelocalize. But vitu mingi tulilearn being yourself, tulilearn kutoka US. Yani imba vile uongea, sing vitu na feel, hizo ni vitu tulitoa huko. So reason nilikuwa na post hizi clips ni kushow au stand up comedians wanaanza saa hii. Yani hizi hapa say walianza way before us, na tunaweza learn vitu mob kutoka kwao, unaona. So unaona kuna stand up, yani kuna stand up comedian mmoja wase au mention sana. Huyu ndo msee nilimwona wa kwanza akifanya special, Larry Asego. Huyu ndo msee niliona Jo akipiga 1 hour. Kuna clip flight yake fulani anapiga 1 hour. So Wakenya, kuna Wakenya wana do stand up deadly, but now mimi nilikuwa nimejieka kwa foot ya mimi the year 2000 ile tukisikiza wase wamekam before us. Hii ndio reason nilikuwa na post hizo ma clips, nilikuwa niekea the up and coming stand up comedians. Hapa ndio place ya kwanza. Hii ndio reason hata nilieka Richard Pryor, yani ule ni godfather. Huyo ndo amebat stand up manze. Yani nimerudi back yani place the genesis, place ilianza. Yani hii na post hizi vitu for the up and coming, they can pick watapick hizi vitu now, they can move forward because hii content yote iko online. They will move forward, wanze kuziwatch pole pole, you'll get inspired. You don't have to do the same thing. This is just for inspiration and everything. So pole they will move forward, pia wanze pia kuconsume hizi the same time wana consume hizo content za kitamu. Kennedy Murphy pia wana consume hizi content zetu, but si post hizo vitu in comparison. I'm not comparing anyone. This is just to inspire wase, vile sisi tu tulikuwa inspired na jamaa yani kwa sababu they came before us. Yani wase industry yao iko old, so lazima yani tuwapatie hiyo, wako old, so they are just an inspiration to us. Hiyo ndio reason nilikuwa nika hizo clips.
All right, I think we need to start wrapping this up. There's this Kim 254. You have a few seconds, bruh. Shoot. Kim 254. All right, Nikama Kim 254 has lost his opportunity. Let's just wrap this up, maze. Doug Mutai, sasa hii story unasema aje? How do we go forward, bro?
Manze, going forward ni hiyo. Wakenya kama experience our shows that we are doing, there is a good group of Kenyan comedians doing it. Endeleeni kusupport, kusikiza Njugushu. Njugushu is a hilarious guy, is a very talented muscle. So hapo, and is very skilled as well. So tushikilie tu hapo, love iendelee. Ka violence sijui kama, I don't know what to say about that, but maze Joa, thanks for putting a spotlight on this, what we have been doing maze. Pia hiyo inasaidia. I think every little bit counts, but yes, the game is the game, man. We move regardless, we move forward, and thanks for everyone. Watu waendelee kusupport hii game manze. Sharini clip and yene watu sharini my show.
Which shows are happening?
Yeah, we have a show. Wacha tu plug the shows that we are promoting. We have a show every Wednesday at the Craft. Hiyo ni open mic. Kama wewe ni roho hujaifanya stand up, unakama you ask to do a spot. Kama pia wewe ni seasoned performer, you need to just flesh out something. Kama wewe ni comedian seasoned, you wanted to flesh out something, you're very welcome. It's a very open stage. That is Wednesday and Friday, the Craft in West. And Friday hapo hiyo area Lavington kuna show pia. And then we have shows in Nakuru at the Hotel Waterback every month or every other month. Na Mombasa, we have a show at the Dar House in Nyali. We're coming back again soon. Nakuru, we are there on the 22nd. Across LD and LD Kisumu, we are coming there. Alafu pia 22nd, we have a show in Nairobi. 29th, we have a show in Nairobi at the Lemon Lounge. That's a paid show. So, and then there's also 5th August, that will be at the Widely Coffee. And basically, hizi mashow ni wase kuna open mics. These are the weekly shows that are happening. Say una come in for free. You just RSVP because of limited capacity. On standupcollective.co.ke, you can RSVP for those shows on Wednesday and Friday. And then the Saturday shows are usually mostly paid shows. So wase wanakam na ile tried and tested material, and then they perform it. So wase pia wanakulia
Hiyo promo ya Dag ni kali.
Nataka kwa sababu ya character inaitwa nini, limitations. Stand Up Collective on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, tuko hapo bana.
Noma sana. Jua kali wasa wanauliza, nimeona maswali kadhaa, wasa wanauliza mbona uko passionate sana about stand up, mbona uko opinionated sana kwa historia ya stand up maze.
Yes, kuna kelele fulani tu. Tuko sawa?
Tuko fiti.
Hapo siko sawa sasa.
Unajua mimi ni mtu napenda. Okay, mimi ni mswa mtaani. Wacheki mimi grow up mtaani. Ukicheki songs zetu zilikuwa na humor sana.
Yep.
Unaona, from the ilikuwa inaanza na lyrics, because mimi nilikuwa najua, the moment unaingia kwa industry fulani lazima ujue your competitors wanafanya nini, ndio at least ukue na edge over them ama stand out, kwa sababu hapa tuko wengi, lazima you find a way ya ku stand out. So tukianza nilinotice wale artist wamecome before us wako too serious. Yeah. Unaona, so mimi nikasema I'll bring the element ya humor. Alafu that time nilikuwa najua vizuri sana, if I make you laugh utasikiza to the lyrics more. Unaona, so ndio unaona from the get go, hata ukisikiza lyrics za Ruka kuna lines funny hapo ndani. Kiasi, that was a funny song. Bongo la biashara, hiyo ilikuwa funny. Nyundo nilikuwa nimefeature similes but ilikuwa funny. Unaona, kama Tadem ilikuwa tu vile tafanya pia ilikuwa funny. So mimi nimekuwa na use humor sana. So unaona with humor na stand up they are on the same line. Yeah. Unaona, yani mimi napenda tu kucheka. Mijo kama nimebeka hapa nika tu stand up. Yani mwekaga ma stand up kwanza kabla hata ni watch anything else, sijui series, sijui nini. Napenda tu kucheka. So hii ndio reason niko so much passionate. Ojamini za kwa msanii, but pia niko na passion ya bako vibaya sana. Mwa mkaga asubuhi kuwatch ma playoffs morning. So si ati mimi ni msanii tu peke yake. Stick to genge, hata siwezi bonga story ya politics. Stick to genge, wewe stick to genge. Unaona, ni the same way tu una get maybe mse wa sport anataka kubonga maybe social issues, anaambia yo shut up, shut up and ball, wewe usiongee. So ni hivyo tu, mimi ni human being. Yani wasio hawafai kusahau hiyo kitu. Napenda humor to death. Unaona, napenda kuchekesha wasee. Hata ndo unaona mtu kama Major picked hiyo kitu na ameendelea nayo. Hiyo imekuwa part of genge. Hiyo ni part of genge. Jimwat alikuwa mfani, Flex alikuwa mfani. Unaona, yani hiyo imekuwa part, yani sisi tumekuwa na humor. So humor, stand up comedy, same thing. Ndio unaona, yani mimi niko so much passionate. Yani mimi napenda, mimi ni a big fan, mimi ni fan. Mimi sisikizi tu mziki tu alone, pia mimi ni fan wa vitu mob. Napenda F1 to surprise you. Napenda tennis, napenda boxing. Hizo ni vitu yani mufuatiliaga sana. So mimi si mwanamuziki tu peke yake, but humor number 1. Hii ni siri tapatia unaona, tapatia anyone. Maybe kuna musicians pia wako kwa hii space. Hii ni secret tapatia. The moment you make someone laugh, huyu ni mtu anakusikiza because he's laughing, so he's listening to you. Na hiyo ndio njia tulitumia kumekuwa wasikize lyrics, because most of the time wasanii wengi hizo siku walikuwa na concentrate so much on the choruses, so unapata chorus ni deadly but mavasi ziko hivi hivi. So sisi tukasema we'll make sure mavasi ni deadly, chorus pia ni deadly, but now njia tu ya kuget masikio yako lazima nikuchekeshe. So hiyo ndio reason niko so much passionate na story ya stand up.
All right, Juakali, Mazee, thank you so much for coming through for this space. Mazee, wase hapa wamefurika kama nzige, you guy.
No man. Hey, this ni noma.
You guy, Juakali, hiyo mgongo yako. Wewe leo nakununulia oil upake tu kwa mgongo.
Oil.
Mazee.
Iko sawa, yani iko tu sawa. Yani hii industry ikigrow, yani tutagrow wote manze. Njugushi ni mse, yani tarudia tena wale wasomeingia hapa ni mse, yani the first time tulimeet kulikuwa na hizi stories za Safaricom. Tulikuwa tunafanya campaign fulani ya Safcom. That was the first time kitambo. So nikamwambia hiyo time nilikuwa namaliza kujenga keja. So nikamwambia Buda, jo ukigeti do, jo the first thing do itapotea na utaulize ilienda wapi, utashindwa kujibu. So nikamwambia ni ukigeti do, yani jo get shamba, anza kubaima mawe, anza tu kujenga. Na jamaa I think alijenga. So hiyo ndio ilikuwa the first time tulimeet. So mimi nimekuwa na encourage wase kina Butita kuanza ma specials, nimekuwa na encourage sana. So I think yani human is to error. I think ile passion yangu yani ilini drive tu nika nani, but ideally ningefaa yani vile mimi nimekuwa hapa for all this time, yani nimeget support mob sana kutoka kwa wase. Yes, tulibashiwa pia tukianza, but love ilikuwa mingi sana mpaka ikatupropel place tumefika. So mimi as an old statesman, job yangu ni ku encourage wase. I think wase wali reactive kwa sababu wanashindwa Buda vipi jo, yani vipi. So
wase walikuwa nasema umefika hiyo miaka ya kusema wewe ni Buda fulani sahi.
Yani naweza sema anything. Yani sijali, but yani na understand place yangu kwa hii industry, na understand hii contribution yote nimeleta kwa hii industry. So mimi yangu itakuwa tu ku encourage ma stand up comedians, yangu itakuwa ku encourage ma musicians vile nimekuwa tu na do all along, artist wa genge tonani. Mimi job yangu imekuwa hiyo forever mpaka sasa hii.
I think on that note, let's end it there. Follow these guys. Juakali, thank you so much for making the time Mazee asubuhi to come through. Cheers man. We really appreciate na your podcast Mazee come. Unasema kuna podcast inakama?
Yes, kuna podcast inaitwa The Calicast. Takuwa na bonga tu story. Unajua manze genge imekuwa imeongezwa kwa Grammys, which is a big deal. So nilisema wacha nitake opportunity at least niambie wase jani yetu ya genge imekuaje, because haijakuwa easy for all this time. So nataka tu kuinspire, job yangu imekuwa tu kuinspire wase. Hizi tweets nimekuwa naeka the journey ni kuinspire to the up and coming. Hata mpaka ma stand up comedians, because journey ni the same. Zile vitu my young artists wanapitia ni the same upcoming comedians wanapitia. So mimi na share hii jani yetu ya genge mpaka saa pale hapa tumefika, genge iko included kwa Grammys. So the Calicast inakam, the first episode itatoka hii wiki, so wasiwa watch out.
All right, cheers guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Follow our podcast inaitwa Breakfast Banter. We normally hear every morning. Nasikika kweli?
Unasikika.
Okay. So we have a podcast. I host it with Ken Beda, Bashir wenye wako hapa. We are on Twitter every morning, inaitwa breakfast banter. Haikwangi imejaa hivi, so ukiingia kesho usistuke.
Iko nimejaa hivi.
Exactly, man. So mazee, kesho come through in the morning. We're normally here chopping it up. We also have a podcast. It's called the Kisiangani Podcast. Tukuna Jua Kali has been on. We have a podcast with Bashir inaitwa Blissful Banter. So come through, follow us on all our socials. Evans, thank you so much for coming through. Tutachungulia hiyo show yake. Ati inaitwa The Black
Sushi coming out Saturday.
Sushi. Oh, it's coming out this Saturday.
Tafadhali Jua Kali nitukane Jumamosi mapema.
The Black Sushi. Sawa, takwambia Saturday mapema mimi na wewe.
Sawa bro, nimeshukuru bana.
Tuko ndani hiyo sato yetu yote. So shout out to everyone who's been on this space. See you guys later. Bye.